Hey, hi, hello. What is your guys' opinions on the NES Mega Man games? I think they're great. I love the NES Mega Man games. Definitely not any of my favorite games. Like, some of them, they're great. The others, not so much. So after beating all 6 Mega Man games on the NES, we're going to be going over them and ranking them. The ranking will be from worst to best, based on how much I enjoyed the overall experience of the game, and nothing else. And if you disagree with my opinion, make sure to go into the comments and write down what your ranking is. But just remember, you're wrong. Without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Number 6, Mega Man 1. Okay, I know what you're saying. Mega Man 1 isn't that bad, but it is. One thing I want to point out straight off the bat is I swear they named Mega Man Rock, like as his real name, because he falls as hard as a rock in this game. If you fall, there is no saving yourself because you fall so fast. And it's really noticeable from high up. I'm not going to be talking about how visually appealing this game is because this is the first game in the series and it still is extremely visually appealing. But the controls are unresponsive. Most of the weapons are useless. Most of them. I don't want that one guy coming back and telling me that the Mega Man 1 weapons are easily the best. Because, again, they're not. Rolling Cutter is extremely helpful. Elect Beam does a lot of damage, but everything else is kind of useless. Nobody's using Hyper Bomb. Or the Firestorm, or whatever it's called. And I know everybody's gonna be like, guys, well, this actually started the Mega Man series. Okay. And what does it have to do with it being good? The first Fallout was bad. Nobody sees anybody talking about Fallout 1. And for any of the Mega Man 1 supporters out there, I just gave you like 4 or 5 different reasons why this game's bad. It's not the worst NES game I've ever played. It's actually far from the worst. It's just the worst Mega Man NES game I've ever played. Although I will say the Robot Masters are epic. You got like Elect Man, Cut Man, and Guts Man, and Bomb Man, and Iceman and Fireman. Like, those are iconic. The Robot Masters are iconic, but that's the only thing that holds this game up, because everybody remembers the original Robot Masters. And if they don't remember the original Robot Masters, they at least remember Cut Man and Guts Man. Moving on to number 5, Mega Man 5. And surprisingly, I didn't put Mega Man 5 at number 5 as a pun. I actually just don't like this game. I know a lot of people actually love this game, but I think 6 and 4 are much better games. 5 is just kind of 4.5, if you understand that. What I'm trying to say here is Mega Man 5 is just kind of like Mega Man 4 DLC. And this game isn't that hard, even though you see me dying multiple times. That's just because I'm bad at Mega Man, not because the game's hard. And let me tell you, it was hard putting Mega Man 5 this low on the list. But I kind of had to. It's not a top 3 game. It's not even top 4. It's 5. Mega Man 5. Number 4, Mega Man 6. I don't really like Mega Man 6 as much as I probably should, and here's why. While the Robot Masters are creative, they're kind of boring at the same time, if you understand what I mean. Like, sure, Flame Man, yeah, but that's been done like hundreds of times before. Oh, and something in both Mega Man 5 and 6 I didn't bring up in the last part. Whenever you get hit with the charge shot, you don't keep your charge. Which I don't know why. It might be a way to, like, nerf it, maybe? But I think it's dumb, because in Mega Man 7, you can just, like, if you get hit while you're charging, it keeps the charge. And it's the same in Mega Man 4. I don't know why they changed it. But one thing I do like about this stage is, again, I'm not going to judge it based off how visually appealing the game overall is, but the stage design makes a lot more sense in this game. Like, it looks really good. It makes sense why this, like, Flame Man, the level you're seeing right now, why he'd be in, like, an old Afghanistan castle or whatever. And again, I'm not judging it based on how visually appealing this is, but also this is the best looking Mega Man game on the NES. But that's 90% just because it came out in, like, 1995 or 94, when that was, like, the original NES was dead. The Super Nintendo already came along. But yeah, that's my number 4 spot, so if you don't like it, fight me. Oh, here's another one I'm gonna get murdered for. Number 3, Mega Man 2. Okay. Put the pitchforks down. I like Mega Man 2. It's a great game. But this game is extremely broken. And one more thing. Also, the way people point out how hard this game is not hard. I'm hard. Sure, there's some challenging parts, like the entirety of the Airman fight and the beams in this stage, Quickman stage. but nothing so hard that makes me want to throw my controller like, jump, jump, slide, slide, jump, jump. I swear, do not play Mega Man 8. You'll get PTSD. But we're not talking about Mega Man 8. We're talking about Mega Man 2. And again, this is probably my most played Mega Man game, but it's not my favorite. I still think there's 2 more games that are better. Just to recap for the sweaty nerds who are going to say Mega Man 2 is the best. Mega Man 2 is not the best. It's a completely broken game. You have to go in a certain order. Like in Heatman stage, you are not getting past that stage unless you already did Airman. And you better not think you're going to do Airman without getting Woodman. And you better not think you're going to get Woodman without getting Metal Man. But all that weird Robot Master stuff aside, this game is great, but it's not my favorite. Number 2, Mega Man 3. I used to love Mega Man 3, and I mean love. This used to be my favorite Mega Man game. But then I realized how buggy it really was and how it's still a great game, but also not a great game. You can tell it was rushed onto the market just by like the empty start screen and the flickering light on the enemy select screen. It's just unfinished and buggy, which doesn't mean it's a bad thing. This game is basically Mega Man 2, but more balanced. We still have Metal Blade, but it's Shadow Man's weapon, and it only fires in 4 directions. And there's still some powers that people find useless that are actually extremely useful, like Gemini Laser. Actually, Gemini Laser is kind of useless, I just like aiming with it. And the music in this game is a lot better than the past 2 installments. They really stepped it up when doing this game soundtrack. You got certified bangers such as Top Man and Needle Man, and even some of the Wily Castle stages have really good themes. And there's one thing, and one thing alone, that stops this from being at the number 1 spot. I'll let you guess what it is. Too late. It's the Doc Robot stages. Does anybody actually like the Doc Robot stages? Like, they're hard. The bosses are fun. I guess the idea of refighting the Mega Man 2 bosses, that's fun. But no, it's not fun at the same time. The stages are outrageously difficult. And you're gonna hear me complain when a stage is too difficult. Slide, slide, jump, jump. I have PTSD. Do not play Mega Man 8. That's my last warning. So yeah, I would say this is the game I would recommend to people, but it's not my favorite. So why don't we go figure out what my favorite is if you already haven't caught on. For the last number 1 place Mega Man game, you probably already know what it is. It's Mega Man 4. And for one reason and one reason alone. Toadman. But no, seriously, even though Toadman is the best Robot Master of all time, justice for Toadman, this game takes everything from every game in the series to up to this point and cranks it up to 11. You get the slide that's 10 times better because now you can jump with it. When you charge, you get the new charge shot, which is where the term Mega Buster comes from. Mega Buster isn't just the normal Buster. Mega Buster is when it's fully charged up. And you get the new Rush, which, to be fair, that's actually a downgrade. The new Rush coil sucks in this game. And so does, Rush Jet isn't that bad. It just automatically moves. You don't get to control it that well. You got Robot Masters like Brightman and Toadman in this game. You know how good that is? You know how good Toadman is? Like, all my boy Toadman wants to do is dance. Like, and that's fair. That's just dance. And this isn't too difficult. It keeps the difficulty high, which Mega Man games should have high difficulty, but not like Mega Man 8. We're not bringing that up again. But this keeps the difficulty high, but still makes it easily accessible for anybody who wants to play. This could be anybody's first Mega Man game. Again, I would recommend 2 or 3, but you could try this out. And now this game is going on my certified bangers list. So, that's my list. And I'd like to know, what's your list? Maybe type your list in the comments. And again, if it's not mine, you're wrong. But all jokes aside, I'd actually like to see yours. And thanks for watching, and wear a seatbelt. Also, justice for Toadman. Just let my boy dance.